Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So today is Thursday, which means it is Update Thursday on Old School RuneScape, and today we have changes to the Chambers of Xerac, the Kebos Lowlands, and the Collection Log. If you guys didn't already know, February is usually Quality of Life month for Old School, so every week in February they focus on a different Quality of Life topic. So, one week is combat, one week is skilling, one week is PVM. So I guess for the topic of today's video, if you guys think there should be a quality of life change for something, let me know in the comments below. So if you guys have a thing you enjoy doing, or you guys have something that really needs a quality of life update to make you do it, then again, leave it in the comments below and we'll look at a nice little discussion going. First up, we have the Chambers of Xerac balancing. So before we get to the bosses that have been updated, you can see the first one right here. We have two things that were proposed to be changed, but actually did not make it into the game. The first one is the change to energy pools, whereby they would cure poison as well as replenish energy. That was not well received, so they decided to leave it out for now and put it in a pool in the future if it seems more popular. So the change of the pools curing poison is not going to be in the game, which I think is also for the best. And the second thing is that the Chambers of Xerac ward scrolls that they were talking about also has not been put in the game. If you guys didn't know, the Chambers of Xerac ward scrolls, where it'd kind of be like if you get the scroll from a boss, you could actually end up skipping it every time you get the boss when scouting, which people weren't really a big fan of. They thought that scouting should stay in the game the way it is and that these scrolls would kind of be a bit too overpowered. So again, these also did not pass. I don't think they're ever going to pass. So these are the two things that did not end up going through into the game. However, the rest of the things mainly did pass, and thank goodness, because some of these boss rooms and some of these bosses definitely needed change. So the first thing we have is that the Tecton defense has been reduced by 25% to make it less dependent on defense reducing attacks, which means that if you guys have a Warhammer spec, for example, or a BGS, it's really not that reliant on these specs anymore to actually kill Tecton. Because if your Dragon Warhammers didn't hit on Tecton, it could be a very annoying process. And again, now we have reduction of 25% of its defense, and also it has been made less sensitive to return to the anvil abruptly without trying to hit anybody. So if you guys hated Tecton, or if you didn't hate Tecton that much, you didn't mind doing it, I mean, it's gotten better for everybody now, so it might be worth doing again. Again, if you guys are really into raids and you guys have done hundreds and thousands of raids, for some of you guys who are crazy, then let me know what you guys think of these changes, and if you guys do notice a big difference, then also let me know below. Second up, we have Vespula, which in my opinion is the most annoying boss to do in raids. I know for some people it isn't too bad, especially if you have Redemption, but I'd say the majority of people end up skipping Vespula when they see her in a raid. But we do have 3 changes today, and again, let me know below if you guys think these changes are going to make her worth doing, or if it's still worth skipping Vespula every time you see this boss. So the first thing is that the Vespula will no longer interact with her grubs until the party has entered the room, which if you guys didn't know beforehand, she would continuously interact with her grubs, which would make the fight very annoying. The second thing is that the portal's health regen has been lowered to 1/3 of its current rate. And finally, each point of HP damage dealt now gives an additional 2 points. So not only has the boss fight been made a bit easier in terms of these tiny quality of life things, but also you get more points for killing Vespula herself or himself. Is Vespula? It's 2019, bro. Who really cares about the gender? Next up, we have one change to the Ice Demon, which is adding wood to a lit brazier is now just as effective as adding wood to an unlit brazier and burning it all at once. So not the biggest change. I think it does make this less annoying, which is nice, but I like Ice Demon because it really isn't that hard to kill, and it's not the hardest room. It's just annoying because you have to worry about the chest, you got to worry about chopping, lighting, and all that stuff. So it's a puzzle room, so it's a little bit annoying, but that's the one change. I think it's still going to be worth doing, even if you guys don't enjoy it, seeing as it's just not that hard of a room to do. So next up is the Creature Keeper room, which is the Thieving room. This one actually is a pretty big change if you think about it. One, the room now gives 5 times points as you deposit grub, so the points from this room have gone up. They removed the thieving level restriction, so everybody who's in your party, and even if you don't have the if you didn't have the thieving level before to do it, you can now do it. They just completely removed the thieving level, because if you guys didn't know, for example, if you're doing a trio raid and only 2 people have the thieving level, the room takes like 10 minutes because it just takes forever to put all these grubs into the coffer, or whatever the thing is, the thing that the creature eats from. I don't even know what that's called, the trough, right? Something like that. Anyways, moving on. The creature will now eat faster than before, and the minimum time before the creature gets hungrier has been increased from 30 to 60 seconds. So this thieving room, all of a sudden, every time you guys saw a thieving room, you would, sort of groan. But now, man, I don't know, maybe this room's going to be worth doing. At this point, it seems like if everybody can do the thieving room, it eats faster than before, and you get more points, maybe this is going to be a go-to room now. What do you guys think about that one? That's kind of interesting. So other changes to raids, we have the seeds when raking, or the seeds given when raking raids will now rotate between the different seeds available. They increase the amount of herbs available in higher numbered raid teams, And the dungeon, this one's actually great. The dungeon layouts that don't give scavenger corridors before you get to rooms requiring the items they drop have been removed. So if you guys, for example, have to do Ice Demon and there was no previous scavenger rooms to get the planks from to make a chest, that was so annoying, and that has now been removed from raids. And this next one is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Small scavengers no longer spawn in the Chambers of Xeric. Rest in peace to the small scavs. Only the larger variety will now appear in the raid. Also, you guys know what I just noticed? This entire news post, there are no periods. Well, I guess for these bullet points, right? But is it? I don't know, man. There's just no periods at the end of this stuff. Is that just tilting anybody else? Okay, sorry. Anyways, left clicking on a stackable item while storing items in your private storage in the Chambers of Xeric no longer stores all the items in the stack. That is it for the updates for Chambers of Xeric balancing. There may be a couple more updates with Quality of Life month that come out in February, but I think for the most part, these are the main updates to raids for, I guess, this part of the year. And if you guys want to try it out for yourself, again, try out raids and let me know what you think of all of these changes. Next up, we have some changes to the Kelbos Lowlands, and we're going to start off with the Alchemical Hydra. The first thing is that the Jar of Chemicals has been added to the Hydra's drop table, everybody's favorite drop in the game. Every time you get a jar from a Slayer boss, you absolutely love it. I mean, I don't hate it, right? It's kind of cool to have this in your house when you get a jar and show it off, but some people would prefer to have better drops, something like a Hydra head, which has not been added with today's update. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people want it to come in with the update today, but it has not. So instead, you guys have the Jar of Chemicals to look forward to. And second off, we have changes to the aerial fishing activity. The rate at which mulch pearls have been obtained now scales from 1 out of 100 to 1 out of 75 based off of your fishing and hunter levels. And second off, Alri, the angler at the center of Lake Mulch, now sells the angler outfit at a cost of 100 mulch pearls a piece. So you guys now have two ways of getting the angler outfit. The first one is fishing trawler, which everybody absolutely loves. And then the second one is that this girl here, Alri the angler, now is at the center of Lake Mulch and sells the angler outfit. So if you guys want to get the angler outfit via fishing, you can now actually do it via aerial fishing in the Kelbos Lowlands. The unrestricted worlds are now open again. If you guys don't know what these are, pretty much it's a world where you guys can get any gear, any stats you want, any supplies, anything you want to do in the world you can do via the supplies chest, and you guys can go test out bosses, go test out PKing builds, go test out stats, test out items, whatever you guys want to do. This world is now open, and you guys can be here until March 21st. The collection log has been updated, and it probably will always be continuously updated, seeing as there's always new items coming into the game, and items are always moving around in the game as well. So here are all the updates. They added some more of the obscure items to the collection log and also moved some of the pets around and added some items that were missing from before. So if you guys want to take a look at all the things added to the log, here they are right here. And finally, in today's update, we have the in other news section. So if you guys want to check out some of the grammar errors or some of the smaller minor updates that they didn't deem worthy of putting all the way up here, you guys can check out the in other news right here. Once again, I'm going to leave a link to the update for this news post and also the Runelight news post, which is coming up next in the description of this video. So if you guys want to check out for yourself, the links are below. Anyways, let's head to the Runelight updates of the week. Runelight 1.5.10 release, they now have a new color selector that they wrote from scratch to offer a long time requested feature for color picking adjustable transparency values. Runelight always has these big mouthful updates. I'm telling you, man, I gotta really focus on my enunciation for all this stuff. The color selector now offers that functionality for the cannon, ground marker, object marker, tile indicator, and XP glow plugin. So if you guys don't know what this is, pretty much just look at this GIF right here, right? If you guys have a screen marker on your screen or a ground marker, object marker, tile indicator, all that stuff, or if you want to select your mini map, for example, you guys can now change the color of it to something else if you want. I'm not really sure what I would use this for. For example, they're like changing the color of the mini map here. I think it would be useful, of course, for the ground markers and for the screen markers. You can do it to a custom color or have it transparent as well. So again, it's up to you what you guys want to do with it, but it's a pretty neat updates. And yeah, it's cool that it's in the client. If you want to know what your personal best is for a certain boss, the !PB chat command has now been added, but you do have to first secure a kill on the boss so Runelight knows what your time is in order for it to store your PB. And finally, the NPC indicators plugin has been updated to allow tagging of certain NPCs which before could not be tagged because of technical limitations. That has now been fixed. You guys will see it above the examine option right here. You can see the tag guard is now above the examine guard. Smaller improvements and bug fixes for Runelight are listed right here. The biggest thing for me is that the telekinetic room plugin has been fixed. I need to get a master wand on my Iron Man, so this is very nice because the telekinetic room sucks. And Runelight just makes it so much better. So that's the updates for Runelight. That's the update for old school RuneScape this week. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like and leave your comment on your thoughts on today's update. And I will see you guys this weekend for the next video. Have a good one, and peace.
Wow.